I feel very unqualified. Not because I'm an evil person, but just I know my own weaknesses. I'm just kind of shooketh. I'm amazed you're here right now.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to share with you how you can implement ambient drone pads to use in your local church or in the studio. And if you don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I released my own ambient drone pad software called Presence. You can use it for altar call moments, prayer moments, during praise and worship, any moment in church that needs more of a atmospheric effect. This is perfect for that. On the screen, we have Presence right here. And of course, we're playing the Nord Stage 4, like the perfect combo, right? So initially, before this software was created, what I used to have to do is, let's say a prayer moment was going on and it was spontaneous and I wanted more of a ambient drone pad effect. I would have to stop playing the keys and then I would have to go to my Finder. I would have to find the MP3 of the drone pad, open up my software, drag it into the software, and then press spacebar. But what I found out is that whole entire process took like anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half. And I was like, as much as I use drone pads each week, there has to be another way. Now, I know there's a pedal out there. I know that a couple of companies have their own software on their computer that has ambient drone pads, but there was nothing quite like Presence. So we have Presence right here mapped to this MIDI controller right here. This is a MPK Mini. We can control the volume knob and all of that as well. And we can latch our drone pads using this MPK Mini, right? So let's act like the preacher's up talking, and I actually have this video off of YouTube. This is how you use ambient drone pads in your local church. So check this out. The preacher's up, he's presenting his message and he's just talking. So this is what we're gonna do, right? So we're in the key of C.
Miss this.
So the preacher's up talking.
You will miss.
Check this out.
What God is doing in your life.
So let's latch it.
You'll miss God if you miss this one truth. You're going to have to settle this. You don't have to believe it, but if you want to serve God and if you want a fruitful relationship with God and if you want to see a move of God in your life, you're going to have to settle this first thing in verse 1. The Lord said. You're going to have to settle this because this is what God does in our life. God speaks. So I speak to a Western culture who lives by sight and by senses, and to a Western culture that loves signs. Give me a sign. That's not what God does. God speaks. And in the West, we're driven by our senses. We're driven by what we can see, what we can feel, what we can taste, what we can,
and or we can just turn it down. So you see how just adding in an ambient drone pad underneath of what you're doing can kind of help a lot. Like if you're a beginner, even if you're advanced, this is really something that you can add in your local church that can really help you out. It has multiple uses. Let's say that there's talk music going on. Let's go to the key of, let's do E flat. So let's say announcements is happening. Right? So maybe they're up there saying like, hey, this week youth group is coming together. And they're going to be hanging out at the bowling alley. Make sure you join a small group. There's a lot to do inside of the ministry. Like just having this in the background takes away so much pressure of feeling like you have to move around a lot on the keyboard. Like I know how it is. Like sometimes there's so much talking and there's so much happening in church. And music is needed for those moments, but how cool would it be to have something like Presence in the background to kind of help you out? If you want to change the preset, we can simply press this key of D right here, and you see that the presets are changing. There's 12 different presets in here. We have a settings window inside of Presence that you can, of course, change the audio device. You can change the outputs as well. We can change the release time. Like, there's so much that Presence can do. And again, I truly believe that this is a game changer. This is something that I use in church every single week. So let's go to the point in the preacher's message where he's kind of slowing down and wrapping up, and you can kind of hear his tone change a little bit.
It wasn't just explained. I didn't get in the car and mom and dad got in the car and go, preacher, I can't believe they want our money. That'll get on your kids too.
So this is like
you can
a
get
moment in
Jehovah
church,
Jireh
right?
on your kids. He's our provider. You can get El Shaddai on your kids. He's a way maker. He's more than enough. Or you can get El Cheapo on your kids.
I can't believe that preacher just asked for money.
All right, let's go to the movies and spend $30 on popcorn. That cost them 5 cents. El Shaddai, El Cheapo, your choice. I'm losing the anointing. On to point 3. I feel the people turning. I feel the hearts turning against me.
Here is another cool feature that you can do with Presence. So we're going to find Presence. You can actually use this inside your DAW as well, right? So what we can do is we can open it up, and let's say we want a sustaining drone pad that's just going to stretch a really, really long time, right? We can drag it on the grid, and we can drag it right there. So let's say we want the drone pad to start right there and we want it to stretch. We can press bounce in place, and we can name it drone. Now we can close it, and now we have this drone pad that you can use inside of Logic. And you don't necessarily need the original channel. So let's say you're writing a song. So those are a couple of ways that you can use Presence inside of your local church and inside of the studio as well. Before you leave, I kind of want to play around with Presence, go through a couple of presets, and just play some like maybe mellow worship, calming music, just to kind of show you what it can do and how cool it is. So let's do that.
Because as a person who knows me, I feel very unqualified. Not because I'm an evil person, but just I know my own weaknesses. I'm just kind of shooketh. I'm amazed you're here right now. This is awesome to me. And so it's never really our goal to build a big church. It was my desire to grow big people. Yeah, with a big spirit and big faith and a big love for God and a big desire to serve people and love people and reach people with the gospel of Jesus. I knew that God was big, and I thought if I could expose people to a big God, they would grow into big people with big faith, leaving big legacies. And whatever the attendance did, the attendance was going to do, but it was my desire to grow big people. And so with that in mind, I learned that from my father, Abraham. Abraham was big. Really, if you want to see it, Abraham was big and Lot was small.
Then we can just stop it like that. Those are some ways that you can use Presence for church and inside of the studio. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you're interested in getting presents, make sure you hit that link below. Comment down below what you think about this video, and if you already have presents, tell me what you think so someone else can see your comment and maybe they will actually believe it's actually a good plugin. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Appreciate all of your support. That's all we got for today. We are out.
Something that is going to be a part of every keyboard rig in the next 2 to 3 years. I've never used any type of software that is this easy, where you can just press a key and the drone pad will automatically latch and play throughout the entire set.